So, Joe Mixon. We've talked about many times. We've talked about different halfbacks that could take in the NFL draft. What's going on with Joe Mixon? Because after P. Ryan left, we haven't really heard anything about him. All we've heard about was, the possibility of Zeke Elliott coming to the team. We've heard rumors of other running backs, Austin Eckler possibly being traded for, but we haven't heard anything about Joe Mixon. Well, Katie Blackburn, vice president of the Cincinnati Bengals, was very vocal over the last couple of days, and she actually did speak on the Joe Mixon situation. She said this: he's done a lot of great things for the team, and I think he has a lot of great production in him. There is a whole myriad of things that can happen, and I don't want to imply that anything is going to happen or not going to happen, because it all depends on so many things. It's a big jigsaw puzzle because it all depends on so many other things. It's a big jigsaw... Wait, I just read that twice. It's a big jigsaw puzzle. You put one piece in, and maybe that changes the way you see another piece. So we just have to wait to see how things play out a little bit. Now, she gave so much information without giving so much information. Let me explain why. So by saying this, right, big jigsaw puzzle, this means if we get a new running back, Zeke Elliott, if we get another running back in free agency, then this will change the way you see Joe Mixon. So let's say, for example, a hypothetical scenario, right? The Bengals go and sign, They go sign Zeke Elliott, right? That changes, that puzzle piece will now change the way you see Joe Mixon, right? Because now you're like, okay, well, Joe's making $10 million. We just signed Zeke Elliott to a $2 million contract. So, why are we paying Joe Mixon $10 million? And then, let's say, hypothetically speaking, you did, crazy enough here, traded Jonah Williams to the Titans and did get someone like Derrick Henry. Well, now, Joe Mixon just seems pointless to have on the roster, right? Because why have Joe Mixon making $10 million when you just got Derrick Henry, you just got Zeke Elliott? Then that would not make sense. So what she's saying is, depends on what the moves are, where if, let's say, for example, they sign a free agent, trade for a free agent running back, or, can't trade for a free agent running back, trade for a running back, or draft a running back, then that changes the outcome of the Joe Mixon situation. What this is not saying, and is kind of what we understand over the last couple of months, is there is no 1,000%, that's our guy, he's our roster piece, we're not moving on from him. Because when she was asked about the whole Jonah Williams situation, about trading him, she said, we don't have to rush anything. We can take our time, and if we keep him, we keep him. She's not giving that same energy for Joe Mixon. That's a huge red flag in my book when it comes to what her opinion is and whether she wants to keep Joe Mixon or not. She's very, okay, well, you know what, if we keep Jonah Williams, we keep Jonah Williams. With Joe Mixon, it's, listen, if something happens and we get this guy, we get this guy, we trade for this guy, we draft this guy, Joe might go. But I'm not gonna put anything in until everything is solidified and done. Which again, like I said, this is kind of what we have seen. We've seen the talk from the Bryce Callahan, Zach Taylor, and now the vice president Blackburn, is that Joe is an expandable piece. He's not a 100%. He's going to be on the roster piece. If things work out a certain way, Joe's going. If things go this direction, Joe's going. If nothing happens and, we go into next season and you draft a running back, but you don't sign a free agent, we don't trade for anybody, and you only have 2 running backs on the roster technically other than Chris Evans and Williams, Joe stays. So that's kind of what I'm seeing is if Cincinnati can't work out something elsewhere, then he's going to stay. But we go to the draft here, because this is, by the way, just a little glimpse. You guys forget, Joe Mixon, overall grade 79.3, 78 rushing, 79.5 receiving. He's really not a bad running back by any stretch of imagination. Last season, definitely with injuries and kind of fell off a little bit. But before that, he's been a pretty solid running back across the board. So again, I say it like this. He still has trade value. He still has trade value, and he's not making that crazy amount of money. So that's another thing. Now, obviously, there has been rumors, speculation. Well, what if Cincinnati goes ahead and trades? Oh, sorry, my bad. Tells Joe Mixon to take a pay cut. It's very possible he could take a pay cut. Very possible he could get that $10 million cap hit down to around, let's say, $4 or $5 million, and then that looks a lot better for the Cincinnati Bengals as a long-term option if he is making less money. So let's go ahead and select the Bengals here. We'll do our 7th round mock draft. I know I got a comment down below. Someone was like, "You do so many mock drafts, man. Why do you do so many mock drafts?" The reason why we do so many mock drafts on this channel is because whenever we talk about something, like for example, Joe Mixon being traded, it's really easy to kind of get a general idea of what it would look like if, or not trade, sorry, traded, cut, whatever. It's easier to get a general idea of what Cincinnati could do, and the mock drafts, the draft part, is a huge thing about it, right? Because obviously, let's say, for example, they cut Joe Mixon right now. Well, they could get someone in free agency like Zeke Elliott, but other than that, there's not too many options. They can go very, very crazy in the NFL draft when it comes to different options. I mean, again, they do have seven picks in this draft. 7 possible players. So obviously, yeah, at this point, we do have Bijan Robinson. Appreciate you down below. I forget your name, but I appreciate you telling me how to say his name. Bijan Robinson. As I said, Bijan. It's Bijan Robinson. Bijan. Anyway, though, I was kind of like Bijan Robinson. Bijan. Anyway, though, so running back wise, we talked about it many times. Gibbs, obviously, is going to be a first, second round pick. Zach is going to be a late second round pick. Dwayne McBride, Tank, all third round picks. Kendre Miller, and so on and so on. So again, like I said, this is what Cincinnati could do. And this is why, again, like I said before, it's why it's so dangerous. Imagine Kincaid's on the board. Kincaid is the best receiving tight end in this whole entire draft. He's pretty much Travis Kelce. Let's say they go with that, right? And this is just a hypothetical, right? Second round here, right? Zach's on the board. Late second, they go, you know what? We're going running back again here. All right, third round here. Either like, who should we take? Some options here. Okay. Ooh, we got my man Jamie Robinson. Every time I do a mock draft, I try my best to do like a new mock draft, like a new players. Because a lot of times I do my same picks every single time. Because I like a lot of my same players every single time. But, you know, I try my best here to try to kind of get a new look every single time we do a mock draft. But like someone like, okay, so now we got run defense. Ooh, he's a really good box safety who I feel like, honestly, that guy, he's probably going to eventually become a linebacker. They're just going to move him from safety to linebacker because he looks like he's a better linebacker than he is a safety. But let's say they go with someone like Jamie Robinson here, right? All right, fourth round. Here we're going to be taking... So again, like I said, this could be a fourth round pick now, right? Now you go with someone like another running back. Maybe you like Deuce or Sean Tucker or Johnson here. You know? Again, I really do like Deuce. I think Deuce has a lot of upside. They didn't really actually mock him correctly, but still, not bad. Sean Tucker, I think they have analysis on him. He's a fourth round pick. He's a 2-down back. He needs to work with his hands, so he's not as good at receiving. Tucker's a one-trick pony who has the tools for tricks to translate in the NFL. Definitely has some upside. Then we have, obviously, Johnson here. Would it be a bell cow back anywhere else in the country, but he still ended up, would have been a bell. Okay, if he didn't go to Texas, obviously. He still ended up one in the NFL, and that could be good. I mean, again, you know, you go back, right? Let's go back up to Zach. Second round pick here. I'm legally blind right now. Right there. Okay. So Zach is a very easy projection to the next level. He's a set it and forget it type runner. He's the bell cow back, right? So obviously, going to next season, if you do cut Joe Mixon, he's your bell cow back in between the tackles every single play, right? Chris Evans is more of a receiving back. He's like a Janavi Bernard. So he's more of a receiving guy. Now, what you're looking in the draft here is possibly going with a 2 bell cow back system here. 2 bell cow backs, a third down receiving back, right? Works out pretty well. You cut Joe Mixon, you save $10 million, or you trade Joe Mixon, whatever the case. Sean Tucker, again, like I said, could be a one-trick pony, need work on his hands. Tucker can be a run-down workhorse, also a big play threat. He showed that at Syracuse, just don't expect much more. Again, we're not really liking that too much. Keaton Mitchell here. He's a 4th-round pick. He's so dynamic that would be unfair for viewing attention not to give him a few touches per game. At his size, though, he might be a receiver, maybe in his cards. That could work out. You know what? I like this the best. I like this pick the best. He's a receiving running back. So he could be a receiver or a running back. When Ty Montgomery came out of the draft, that's kind of how he was. He ended up becoming a receiver because he was more of a receiver than he was a running back. Tavon Austin, too. So this could actually work out a lot better is you have a gadget guy. You have a guy that can, be that running back out of the backfield that you need. But also, he could be that guy, you open up the offense with. Run a 2-back set. Bell cow and Keaton Mitchell. I'm going to go with Keaton Mitchell here. 5th round. You already know what I'm doing. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Josh Wiley. There we go. 6th round here. This is probably what I'm going to take tackle. I don't want to reach on a tackle. I did this last draft in the 6th round. Well, I just took a tackle. And again, you never want to take a tackle just to take a tackle. It's never a good idea. Like 199. It's on the board. But if we're going down this list here. Ronnie Bell. You know what, actually? I'm taking receiver here. Ronnie Bell, Cincinnati, actually sent their scouts to Michigan to watch Ronnie Bell. That was the only guy they watched there. They sent not all of the scouts, but some scouts to Michigan so they could watch Ronnie Bell. They like Ronnie Bell. So why not take him in the 6th round here when he's available? I think that would be a great pick for them. Okay. This is probably why I'm going to take tackle. This is probably why I'm going to take someone like Richard. TJ Bass. Yeah, I'm definitely taking TJ Bass over Richard here. It's a 7th round pick, in all honesty. So, at the end of the day, who is going to be really developed? None of these guys are going to be developed. These guys just need a lot of work. So, I'm going to go with John here. And that's our draft. So, again, like I said, it's easier. This is why we do mock draft so much. It's easier to kind of take a look at someone like, say, hey, look, Joe Mixon going to be cut. And then to say that, but then not show a mock draft, you're like, well, then where are we going to go in the draft that, fixes that problem? So here you get Kincaid, you get Josh Wiley to go with Irv Smith. That's God tier. You got Zach and you got Keaton Mitchell, right, to get in the backfield here. Now with Chris Evans. You could keep Joe Mixon and be perfectly fine. I have no problem with that, but if you do cut Joe Mixon, I think you should be fine with Zach and Keaton Mitchell and then Chris Evans. Then you have the safety, Jamie Robinson. Be a little transitional guy, not transitional, but rotational piece with Nick Scott and with Dax Hill. Ronnie Bell could possibly be the bridge. Could make Tyler Boyd be the bridge receiver, eventually out of here. And then John is just a tackle for depth purposes in the 7th round. Nothing too crazy special there. So, guys, that's how I'm feeling. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. Who day? Out. It's still new to me, okay? It's still new to me.